Matt Damon stars in Stillwater, out now in theaters. After my score of Stillwater is revealed, I will end my video with the top 5 favorite Matt Damon performances in this video as well. Now then, on to Stillwater. The movie tells the story of an American dad named Bill Baker from Oklahoma whose daughter was sent to jail in France. Bill travels to France to visit his daughter. On this trip, he takes matters into his own hands as he tries to find the guilty murderer and set his daughter free. While in France, Bill meets a woman who helps him track down the suspect as he has to try to overcome the multiple obstacles like language barrier, cultural differences, and a complex legal system. Bill decides to stay in France longer than intended and stay with this woman and daughter who he becomes close with. Acting alongside Matt Damon in this movie is Abigail Breslin, Camille Cottin, Lilou Siauvuad, and then Tom McCarthy directs this outstanding movie about acceptance, perseverance, and how you can do the wrong thing for good reasons. This movie is led by great acting by Matt Damon. He is very much so displaying middle America here. He is in this near perfect role with this acting performance. I know many people like Damon's character as I grew up around cornfields in central Illinois for a part of my life. Tom McCarthy also wrote this movie and did a good job with the characters of Bill, who definitely reminds me of people I know, like I said before. A simple thing the character does is say a quick prayer before every meal. This action of praying before a meal is something that my dad does to this day. So I can relate to that a lot. It allows me to relate to the character more and just to get more involved into the story. And then I got to shout out the little girl, Maya, played by Lilou. Also does a great job of acting in this movie. She is so sweet in it, so just lovable. You can feel the bond Bill has with Maya in the movie based on the acting performances of these two actors and actress. Each relationship actually is incredible between all the characters in this movie, as all of them are well developed. This is due to the writing and directing of the movie, as the characters have great depth to them. You know what the characters are thinking just by a simple look at this as they look at one another. The movie has strong character development with excellent direction of a well-paced story. I really like the choices of not showing any flashback scenes too in this movie, as it would have taken me out of the present day moments of Bill trying to deal with his daughter in prison and then starting this new life with this French woman he met. The flashbacks were not needed in this movie. I'm glad Tom McCarthy did not use any. Another focus of the movie is on hatred and the racism of people from around the world. The movie shows how hate is present in different cultures with different perspectives. In the movie, we see hatred against sexual orientation, Arab population, the political views of a person. These views are often fostered by the media that amplifies them across bigger audiences, which we also see in the movie about how the French media just terrorizes uh, Bill's daughter and kind of does the conviction before the trial even starts. It alludes to. The movie then shows how people can come together though and help each other in need, as judgment of one another is set aside. In my opinion, we all have love in our hearts, and I believe at the core of everyone is kindness and generosity. And this movie kind of displays that, as we might not believe the same thing, but we can work together and help one another through a difficult time. Stillwater is another hit for me this year. It's a great movie to see. I really enjoyed watching it all the way through and loved the kind of going back and forth between Bill's two lives he was creating in France of visiting his daughter in prison, that relationship, and the relationship he was having with Maya and the woman in France living with them. I have been a big Matt Damon fan ever since Good Will Hunting. I enjoyed watching his career take off. And then Tom McCarthy is doing great jobs making movies these days. Spotlight was his last one, which I loved watching and got award consideration, which I feel Stillwater is also going to get award consideration, maybe for Best Picture, but definitely for Matt Damon's performance. The only thing that I would change in this movie is taking out the little plot twist it had at the end of the movie. It was not needed, as I cared more about the relationships they were having rather than if Bill's daughter was set free in the conclusion of that story. I hope that didn't give away too much of the story, but spoiler alert if it did, I'm sorry. Um, Anyways, I give Stillwater a score of 89 out of 100. Thanks for watching this review. Real quick, I'll just count down my top 5 Matt Damon performances. At number 5 is Ocean's 11. At number 4 is Contagion. At number 3 is The Bourne Identity, pretty much the whole Bourne trilogy. At number 2 is The Martian. And then number 1 spot is, of course, Good Will Hunting. How do you like them apples?